Hello and welcome to this lesson about multiplying and dividing integers. The learning target for this video is being able to find the sign when multiplying and dividing integers. We need to talk about the rules. And the rules for multiplying and dividing integers are fairly straightforward. So, if we have the same sign, or same signs, it's going to be positive. So, if you're multiplying two numbers that are positive, it makes perfect sense. So you know, positive number times a positive number, that's going to equal a positive number. The one that tends to confuse some students is even if we have negative numbers, negative and negative, that's also going to result in a positive number. Same thing for division. If you're dividing, and keep in mind, division can be written in several different ways, so we could have a positive divided by a positive. That's going to be a positive number. We could have a negative over another negative. So if you think about like a fraction, fraction means division, that's also going to be a positive number. And then the other rule is going to be different signs. Let me make that a little neater there. It's going to be negative. So that's it, real simple. So if we're multiplying like a positive and a negative, the answer is negative. End of story. If you're dividing, so it could, and it doesn't matter what order you're doing it in. So if you have a negative and then you're going to divide by a positive, it's going to be negative. And again, it doesn't matter if it's a positive divided by a negative. As long as the signs are different, it's going to yield a negative number. All right? And so, so let's briefly talk about why. And to do that, we're going to use our friend, the number line here. I'm going to draw a nice number line. And I'm going to start off at 0. And let's say we have negative 2. And let's say what we're going to do, the problem we're going to do is negative 2, and we're going to times that by 3. So you know what that means? That means that we're going to take 3 of these negative 2 lengths. And we're just going to keep expanding it out this way. So we have one of them here, 2, 3. And where is that? Well, we're going by 2, so this would be negative 4, and then right here would be negative 6. That's why when we take a positive or a negative, and we times it by a positive, we can think about it in that regard of a number line. We start at the negative spot on the number line, its distance from 0, and what we're going to do is we're just expanding that 1, 2, 3 times. Well, now let's draw a new number line. And this time we're going to put 0 in the middle, and we'll go negative 2, but we'll also go positive 2, positive 4, positive 6, positive or negative 4, and negative 6, and then 4, 6. Cool. All right, so now let's say the problem that we're doing is negative 2 times negative 3. Now here we have to remember the core idea. So core idea, which is negatives mean opposites. So we're starting off here at negative 2. And if we're multiplying it by 3, we should, go 1 or 2, 3 over here. But the thing is, because we have negatives, we're going to actually flip it around. So we're going to go 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. And that is why the answer to this one is positive 6, and the answer to the one above it is negative 6. Now, that might seem a little confusing. And here's the good news. You don't need to get how it all works on a number line. What you do need to get are the rules. And so, let's walk through some examples and show you just how this sort of works. Alright, so our first example, let's say we have negative 4 times 2. Well, right off the bat, I'm seeing two different signs. I see a positive, I see a negative, so that means my final answer has to be a negative number. Then I just crunch the numbers. 2 times 4 is 8. That's it. For number 2, let's say we had negative 21 times negative 3. Looking at the signs, they match up. They're both negative. So what that means is my final answer will be positive, which we normally don't write, but I'm writing to make a point. And then I crunch my numbers. 21 times 3, well, that's 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. And so it is positive 63. If we do division, same idea. And the order doesn't matter, like I said. So if we have 64 divided by negative 8, positive, negative, that's going to be a negative. And it's the same thing if it was negative 64 divided by positive 8. We have a negative, a positive, the signs are different, so the answer is going to be negative. And again, it just comes down to now crunching the numbers. What's 64 divided by 8? 8. And we already have the negative sign there, so we have that taken care of. And finally, for good measure, let's just say we had 42 over 7, or negative 42 over negative 7. Again, the signs I'm seeing are negative over negative, which means that the final answer will be positive. And we just have to take a look at the numbers. 42 divided by 7, 6. So the answer is positive 6. And so that's how you go about multiplying and dividing rational numbers. You're simply just looking at the signs and making sure they match up. Now the fine print here, and this is how I would assess you during the school year and see if you actually understood the concept, is I would do something like this. Negative 2 times negative 3 times negative 4. I'm going to give you 3 negatives, and you're going to think, aha, the signs are the same. Therefore, the answer must be positive, but that is not the case, because you can only multiply/divide 2 numbers at one time. So what we have to do is focus on this. What is negative 2 times negative 3? That's positive 6. Now times negative 4. What is 6 times negative 4? That is negative 24. So that's the fine print. That's the one last thing I want to show you, is that this rule works great. You know, same signs, different signs. But you have to understand that the fine print here is for 2 numbers at a time. Okay? So, good luck with your homework or practice, and let me know if you have any questions.